Okay, so in today's video about XRP, I want to check out this move on the downside, which happened recently, and tell you there is actually something extremely bullish hidden in this move on the downside and also the current bounce back. So with that said, hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you're having a great time with your family and loved ones, and let's just dive in and see what is going on. And if you remember, the last time that we talked about XRP, we were somewhere around these areas, and I was saying, well, okay, we can argue this is an impulse, and followed by that we may have a correction as structure, and this can be 5 down into A, correction for wave B. And I said I want to ideally see a 1, 2, and then another move down into wave 3, 4, 5 in order to complete the subwaves for our C leg, and then we can get our bounce back and continue the upturn. So what happened? You see, we did get a move on the downside. However, I'm going to admit it right now, I actually didn't expect in this move XRP to take this low right in here, about, let's say, 2.83 bucks. So here's a question. Now that we have taken this low, does this mean that we are going to be bearish? Absolutely not. In fact, I am now seeing a very solid bullish sign, suggesting this whole move down is a correction structure. First things first, let's just delete the waves in here. Okay, now I'm going to tell you there's a good chance that we are having probably a 1, 2, 3, 4, another move up into wave 5, and this white 5 wave up is actually going to be into this wave 3, and this whole move is a correction for 4, and after it's over, or maybe, who knows, it's over already, we're gonna get another move on the upside into wave 5. And again, in terms of the targets, I told you before, $5 XRP, in my opinion, can be considered as the first target. Okay, this is the bare minimum target for Ripple. But again, I told you before, I don't think that we are going to stop there. We're gonna go probably quite a bit higher than that. Now let's go around here and see what is going on. Okay, so here's a very important point. If you want to argue in XRP that our bull run is actually over and we are going to start a massive bear market from the current point, okay, fair enough. This is one opinion. I don't agree with that, but I can respect your opinion. Based on that, you must be able to find off of the highest high. If I just take this one again, excuse me, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave impulsive structure down. Now, this specific example is a normal 5 wave. Rules for it are, we should not have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4, and in any kind of impulsive movement, wave 3 should not be the smallest wave. This is a big no-no in Elliott waves, and for our sub waves, you probably know it if you are a regular viewer. 5 down into wave 1, 3, and 5. Let's just draw the waves, okay? And for wave 2 and 4, we can have different scenarios. Let's say, yeah, maybe ABC into wave 4 and a WXY structure into wave 2. Understood? Okay, now let's go on the live chart and see, can we find something like that or not? So let's just hide everything first and zoom in more. As you can see, this point about, let's say, $3.4 is the current all-time high in Ripple. And if you want to argue that this is actually the beginning of a huge bear market, okay, fair enough. Let's go on a less busy chart so you can see the structures a bit better, maybe from crypto.com. Sure. Here's the question. How exactly now are you able to find a 5 wave on the downside, starting from here and ending to about this low? Now, the question is, why do I say you need to find a 5 wave down to somewhere around this low? Because in the current bounce back in Ripple, we actually took this high right in here, and this is, in my opinion, a very bullish sign, and that's why I would like to argue you must be able to find a 5 wave down from here to about this point. Are you able to? For me at least, it is extremely challenging to find an impulse on the downside. And if you want to say that, okay, this is a 5 wave down and followed by that this is another 5 wave, okay, you can so far argue this is 1, this is 2, wave 3, and where is our wave 4 and 5? For me at least, it is extremely difficult to find an impulse in this region, and I'm not going to say it's absolutely impossible. No, anything is possible, but finding an impulse, if I want to force it to this chart, it's going to be so odd looking that it's going to make me say it's not actually going to be my primary case. And I can tell you actually with a decent amount of confidence, maybe this is going to be just a simple ABC zigzag, or maybe a WXY in form of a double zigzag. If you want to say, if I just take this one, okay, this is 5 down into a correction for wave B, another move down into our C leg, then okay, I'm guessing you are going to argue this is an A, B, C, D, E in form of a triangle structure, which I guess is fair enough. And the fact that, again, in this move, we actually took this high in XRP is actually a very important confirmation, suggesting overall we are dealing with a correction structure. And what's the conclusion? Now we can argue with quite a bit of confidence that our move up in Ripple is going to continue for quite some time. And in it, we are going to at least take this high for the first target around $3.5. But again, I told you, I believe we're going to go quite a bit higher than that, and the better target for the short term can be somewhere around $4.5 to $5. But for the next couple of months, I think we are even going to go quite a bit higher than just $5. Why is that? I think we talked about this before. You want to remember, in XRP, we had a 7-year long-term drawn out correction structure, and whenever you are having long-term corrections like this, that usually leads to extreme extensions. And this, my friends, is the main reason for why I believe in XRP we are going to see something magnificent. And I promise you, XRP is going to drop a lot of juice. So the general picture is still 1000% bullish. And here's a very important point. In this bounce back in XRP, we actually took this high. And even in Bitcoin, we didn't do that. In other words, XRP right now is actually decently outperforming the majority of the crypto market. And there is a very good reason for it. You see, according to this article, about $360 million of XRP just absorbed by the whales in the last 24 hours. Now, if you are a regular viewer, you know actually what this means. I believe the last time that we talked about whales buying, we were actually right around this area. And we said, look, the fact that whales right in here are buying is actually a fantastic news, suggesting potentially in Ripple, soon we are going to start another move on the upside. And this happened. And I think if you are a regular viewer, you know that actually all the way down here, when we were somewhere around this low, about 50 cents, we had actually another very piece of important news that said whales bought about 500 million tokens in here. And what happened after it? We saw another big move on the upside. And I remember specifically down here that I was saying, look, in Algorand, we had actually something similar. So this is a pattern, and soon in the whole market, we can expect some big moves on the upside. And as you can see in this phase, XRP outperformed the majority of the crypto market. So, you know, the fact that once more we are seeing in this move down in Ripple whales accumulating is, in my opinion, another fantastic sign, suggesting our uptrend is not over yet, and soon we are going to have another massive move on the upside. So overall, fantastic news for XRP. And also in terms of technical analysis, the fact that in this phase on the upside, we actually took this high is a great sign, suggesting there's a very good chance we are dealing with a correction structure in here, maybe ABC or maybe a WXY in form of a double zigzag, doesn't really matter. And this suggests our move up is just not over yet. And I told you before, I believe while a lot of people are saying that in this phase we are having a triangle structure, we are actually having a 1-2 in my opinion, meaning this can be 1, 2, 3. Then correction for 4, and we're gonna have another move up into wave 5, and this white 5 wave up on a higher degree might be into a larger degree wave 3 and then 4 and then 5, and even this white 5 up can be into a wave 3 and then 4 and then 5, which means our uptrend in Ripple is just far from over. And as long as I'm not proven otherwise, I'm gonna go with this possibility. So I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in XRP's price chart. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next video, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.